San Francisco 49ers Jauan Jennings had himself a day against the Rams, unfortunately, like the rest of the team, but he absolutely balled and he found himself in a very, very good player's company. That player goes by the name of Jerry Rice, and this is what they share. Jauan Jennings became the only 49ers player other than Jerry Rice to have 10 plus receptions and 3 plus receiving touchdowns in a single game in team history with his week 3 performance against the Rams. Honestly, crazy, right? Like when you think about Jauan Jennings, former 7th round draft pick, him kind of being he is like the fifth, sixth option in the 49ers offense when they're healthy, obviously with Kittle and McCaffrey and Debo and Ayuk. And then it's typically Jawan after that. To see him get his opportunities and to make the most of it. Again, we saw this. We, as 49er fans, when I say we know how good Jawan is. We call him third and Jawan for a reason because he doesn't get very many opportunities, but when he does, he makes the most of it with either third down conversions or touchdowns. Obviously, we saw what he did in the Super Bowl, and now we're seeing what he can do with more reps, and he's having a time. We'll say that. And it was absolutely apparent in this game against the Rams that he was a huge difference maker. I mean, the best catch he probably had didn't count. That's how good he was playing. That one against the sideline where, Purdy let it go. He stepped out of bounds, unfortunately, right before. But again, if he didn't step out of bounds, that catch probably would have counted. He got both feet in. Just an insanely crazy catch. But he made another crazy catch, the one where he had to climb over the top of the back of a, Rams defender and be able to pluck the ball out of the air. And he was great. He was fantastic for the San Francisco 49ers. Unfortunately, in a losing effort, but he really was awesome. And it continues to show that, you know, with all these weapons that are out, the 49ers have really leaned into the next man up mentality, obviously, with Jordan Mason, now Jauan Jennings. Jauan Jennings is, I believe, third in the NFL in receiving yards. I believe Jordan Mason is second in the NFL in rushing yards, and Brock Purdy is second in the NFL in passing yards. So this team is making the most of what they got. And although it hasn't been ideal, the 49ers obviously falling 2 games in a row in the NFC, not ideal, but they have the pieces, especially when they get healthy, to be able to get back on track. So I think they're in a bit of a process of just trying to really figure out their identity, figure out how to play complementary football. That's really what it comes down to. Is the offense, defense, special teams all working together? Just haven't seen that. Haven't seen that consistently enough. I felt like the offense was doing a really good job in that game against the Rams. Defense struggled, special teams struggled. And, when you have two of the three struggling, it's really hard for one to always be pulling the other two. Now, we've seen it before. We've seen the 49ers defense pull the 49ers offense along in previous years and even special teams. But if it doesn't go exactly right, like we saw with the 49ers, it kind of came to a head on a late drive inside the 10. They weren't able to get a first down. They had to kick a field goal, and that made it a 10-point lead. And we all know that a 10-point lead at this point is getting a little scary because it just seems like the 49ers have high profile losses that fall under that category. So it's almost to a point where you have a 7-point lead, it's almost like you have to treat it like you're behind. Like it, I feel like there has to be almost this aggressive nature to potentially how they play. I don't know. I'm just trying to think out loud of ways that this team can find themselves in a different position so that games like this, don't go to waste. And obviously, Jawan, he declined to speak to the media after this game because all he cares about is winning. And I love that mentality. Feel bad for the young man. Wasn't able to really, celebrate that win, and that performance. So I'm hoping the 49ers get it back on track. But I do have a little bit of a highlight here of Jauan Jennings having a day against the Rams, and really showing that he is a weapon. He needs to be considered not only more often, but by opposing defenses. That you can't leave Jauan Jennings singled up or playing soft zone. He's gonna find ways to get after it, and that's exactly what he did against the Rams to now find himself in this category with Jerry Rice. But you guys let me know what you think about this, kind of like some of the things that I had to say. And if you want to watch a couple of the highlight plays from that game, take a look at those right here.